So, Kendra is the American Trailer. How did the trailer business come about?
How far back do you want to go?
I like the beginning of all trailer businesses. No, like in your family. How did that, because I know that your family started a trailer business. How did that start?
Well, my dad used to build coal cars for the coal mines in West Virginia. And when the coal mines started declining, so did his business. So he had all the makings for steel framing and whatnot. So the next natural progression was to make trailers so that we could sell to the general population, not just to, like, the coal cars were pretty specific for the coal mines. So, and that was 17 years ago.
And what kind of trailers did he sell to the public at that point in time?
Open utility trailers, just like the ones you saw outside. Those were his.
The kind that folks pull around lawnmowers and that kind of equipment in?
Yes. You see them in parades often.
I do see them in parades often. So when you made the decision to go ahead and open up American Trailers, what was running through your mind? What was running through Joe's mind as a family? What kind of a risk was it to open American Trailers here in Cincinnati?
I'm sure Joe was thinking in the back of his head, oh no, my in-laws are going to be around all the time. But it was pretty much a leap of faith going into something that I know that my family was experienced in and comfortable with, but it wasn't something that I necessarily was experienced with. I mean, I went to school to be a teacher. They don't talk much about business and accounting and all of that stuff in teacher education. So it was a difficult decision to make.
And yet you were willing to take that risk. Were you desperate for the money?
No. It was much more comfortable being a teacher and depending on that consistent paycheck. There's variables out there that directly affect this. Teaching was pretty stable.
Pretty impressive. Owning a trailer business, you must be incredibly busy. What pulls your time the most, the trailer business or your family?
My family. The nice thing about this business being a family business is that my dad and brothers do understand the demands of motherhood. My dad's a firm believer that a woman needs to stay home and take care of her kids. So this was kind of a happy medium, I guess, for me. I'm here part-time, and I'm home the rest of the time with my kids.
And so what has your church history been? Where have you attended church? What has your faith been like in the past?
My family has always attended church. We started out as Methodists, switched around junior high and became Methodists, and enjoy the Methodist church. And after Joe and I got married, we did struggle to find a church that fit us both. Joe was raised as a Baptist, so we just are looking for a place we feel at home, and we feel at home here at the park.
And so you've obviously made more than your fair share of large decisions. Who to get married to, seriously, what career to go into, and then to leave teaching to go into selling trailers, even though it's a family business. How did you go about making those big decisions? Did you know they were big decisions at the time?
Yes.
And how did you go about that? Did you talk to God about those decisions before you made them?
I did talk to God, yes.
And was it I'm telling you what I'm going to do, God, or was it help me make this decision kind of an experience?
I'd say it was a combination of both.
Prayer is not easy for anybody to do. It's something that people grow into. How have you grown in your prayer life? Where did you start out when you were younger? How did you pray when you were younger?
When I was younger, as a family, we always prayed at meals. We do that now with our kids. But now, as an adult, I don't formally pray in the form of bowing my head, closing my eyes, and doing all of that. I talk to myself a lot, and I feel like when I'm doing that, I'm also talking to God at the same time. I do answer myself at times, which concerns me a bit. So I do wonder if maybe that's God speaking back to me in my own voice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Being in business, as well as being a mother and a wife and everything else that you do at the church, it's got to be difficult to have time strictly alone with God. But when is it during your life that you feel closest to God? When is it that you feel the presence of God strongest?
I feel the presence of God strongest when I'm with my kids and seeing just their genuine innocence and some of their genuine acts that they do. Sophie wearing her rubber rain boots for 4 days straight was definitely the presence of God. It just reminds you that to look at those joys that he puts there in front of you, whether you would choose them or not.
You're obviously successful in many, many areas of your life. God does not say in the Bible that we must earn money, that we must be over the top financially successful in all that we do. But God asks us to be obedient and to be faithful to Him again and again and over and over. How do you see yourself? And this is a tough question because asking Kendra, how do you see yourself as being faithful? But that's what it gets down to. How do you see yourself sticking close to God and remaining faithful, being a faithful Christ follower?
I make every attempt I can to listen to what God's telling me or trying to tell me, and just try to follow that as well as I can. It's not easy, and I don't always know what He's trying to tell me, but...
This is Carrie and Kendra signing off from American Trailers, where Kendra runs an incredibly rowdy, successful, alarming trailer business. And Kendra, I just want to say it's been grand hanging out here with you on the lot and in the offices and talking to you.
Well, thanks for coming.
Would you be willing to sell anybody at the park a trailer?
Please, come on down.
The number is 1-800-666. It's been good talking to you, Kendra.